Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. Today we are just going to be chatting about my issues with the online goth community while I do makeup. Okay, so this has been a topic I've been wanting to kind of talk about for a while, but kind of put it off because I don't know what kind of comments or backlash I'm going to be getting for it. And I feel like most of the things I'm going to be talking about are like not as controversial as I think they are, and I don't think they should be. But I've had a lot of negative experiences with the online goth community, and I kind of just want to say what they are. So for a long time, I felt like I had to fit in some sort of label box and like kind of feel forced to label myself. Not to say that I don't resonate with being goth. I listen to goth music. I have a darker view on the world. I like darker things. I like spooky things. Fashion, even though it's not necessarily like the biggest part of it. You know, I like participating in my local scene. I wish it was bigger. My scene is very small where I'm at, so I'm hoping to get into it even more when I move. But with that being said, I feel like the online goth community is extremely gatekeepy, to a point where the online goth community, I feel like most of the time people feel that it is extremely unwelcoming, because it kind of is for newcomers and people that are just getting into the subculture. They feel unwelcome and they feel like they are not some sort of, you know, goth elitist or like goth elder, which I feel like is such a harmful thing, because how is the subculture ever going to evolve? So I feel like when the subculture was getting kind of a lot of traction on TikTok, especially like a few years ago, the only representation of goth people you would see would be femme presenting goth people. I feel like that was kind of the standard of being goth, was like being white, pale, and you know, there is just like this picture of what I feel like a TikTok goth would look like. I felt like I had to fit into that box being a goth. I would turn down the saturation on my photos. The place I'm at now, I feel like I can still feel goth no matter what makeup I'm wearing, or if I'm wearing a minimalist outfit. I also feel like people don't realize that trad goth people are not the only category of goth people. I've posted so many videos where, you know, my comments are flooded with goth gatekeepers on TikTok, just policing every little thing, like, your eyeliner was this way, so that means it's not trad goth. This isn't goth, blah, 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 blah. Trying to police what is and what isn't goth. So I feel like I'm at the point on the internet where I am just an alternative person. I am no longer connecting myself. Although I participate in my goth scene, I still listen to other types of music. I listen to rap, I listen to R&B, I listen to death metal, I listen to black metal, I listen to new metal, I listen to rock. I listen to everything. And that's another thing that I feel like people were trying to gatekeep, is the fact that, or the reality is that all goth people still listen to other genres of music, and you're not limited to just listening to goth music, you know? Okay, this is kind of like random, but you guys know the summer clean out video I did at the beginning of summer. I had got some comments on there, or one comment that another person replied to, saying that what I was doing was unethical, and the other person responded and said basically that, in a nutshell, that it's disgraceful that I call myself goth, and also that I am Native American and do these unethical practices. I just want people to acknowledge how insane that sounds, because 98% of my wardrobe is thrifted, because first of all, I enjoy having pieces that I feel are unique and special, and second of all, because I don't personally support consuming fast fashion. That's not to say that every part of my life is 100% ethical in every way, because that's just impossible that someone's life is 100% ethical, especially with how our country was built. And I just found that funny, because I feel like me thrifting and me, you know, giving my clothes away to family or selling it to people online, I don't really see an unethical practice in that. And I feel like maybe the person didn't watch the video and didn't really understand what I was doing or where I was coming from. And also the fact that I didn't get rid of my entire closet. I got rid of maybe like 10 pieces maximum. This is kind of off topic of the goth, but they did bring up the, you know, me aligning myself with the subculture, that it was disgraceful. And I feel like if I just never label myself, I wouldn't go through this, I wouldn't go through these arguments with people. I think that people also fail to realize that not everything is shared online, especially when people come on my YouTube. I feel like that's where I share maybe the least about what I fight for, what I stand for. And for me, another part of that comment was them saying that all I do is follow trends, and that's why I'm unethical and, you know, whatever. My day-to-day life, I know what I'm advocating for, I know what I'm fighting for, I know what my ethics are, I know what my morals are, and I don't need to explain that to people on the internet. And I feel like I share a lot of what I believe in, and I feel like true people that watch me know that and understand. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to talk about that comment I received because it overall just bugged me because of how false it was, and just everything that they were saying about me was just not true. But, you know, with the online goth community, I feel like there's a disconnect with a lot of the people on what being goth actually means, and that it's not just about makeup and clothing. There's an entire lifestyle, ethics, morals behind it, and I feel like that's what a lot of people fail to realize. And I feel like at this point it's just a community that I don't want to be involved in, especially because as I grow older, I am realizing like I like a lot of things. I like different styles. I like so many different types of clothing. I want to wear different styles. I don't want to be confined into just one box, you know? And I think it's really cool when someone commits to an entire aesthetic and look, but for me, that's just not what I want. I want to be able to wear different things outside of certain aesthetics, you know? I don't want to stick to one thing at all times. I kind of want to circle back to me basically saying people are gatekeeping, and I feel like the part that I'm saying people are gatekeeping is about like the fashion, the clothes, etc. But I definitely feel like there comes a point where people need to understand that being alternative means you have a certain mindset. Just because you call yourself alternative doesn't quite mean that. I feel like if you dress alternative, you have to kind of abide by the mindset that comes with being alternative. Inherently leftist, and that's just how it is. And I feel like people don't want to hear that, and I feel like it's become like a really wide thing on TikTok, especially for like people to be like, yes I'm goth, yes I'm alternative, conservative, blah 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 blah. And the whole point of being alternative is to reject the status quo and go against traditional conservative mindsets. So I feel like it's an oxymoron, but I feel like there's people on other platforms that can go into depth in that better than I can. Totally different gatekeeping than the fashion, the clothes, you know, all of that stuff. You know, at the end of the day, when you know, in my local scene, it's all about community, it's all about acceptance, it's all about, you know, the music, it's all about having fun. It's just literally about community, and I feel like online goths divide the community and do damage more than it actually helps. And like I said, the conservative goths, right-wing goths are a whole nother can of worms to jump into, and I feel like in unison, actual alternative and goth people know why inherently that is just not correct, and it's just not possible. And there's gonna be people that are gonna be like, I can dress however I want and call myself whatever I want, and yes you can, but just understand that, you know, what you're dressing as and what you're claiming to be, that community just doesn't have those values, and that's not what the purpose is and what it was built on. But for me, I feel like I just want to identify as an alternative person because I am an alternative person. I feel like the labeling is, as long as I am just under the alternative umbrella, I don't need to get into specifics online. Okay, to kind of end off this video, I just want to say that with as much bad things or negative things with the online goth community, there are a lot of positives as well. I've met a lot of really amazing people, and I've taken a lot of inspiration from a lot of amazing alternative people, goth people, especially POC goths. So yeah, this was just kind of like a rambly video. Sorry if a lot of it didn't make sense. But definitely let me know your thoughts and we can kind of have a discussion in the comments down below. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!